Ladies and gentlemen, may we present the Toyger.
Distinguishing features of the Toyger. So they have a soft coat with vivid orange and dark brown or black markings. They're muscular, with males being larger and more muscular, of course. Because of this, they have an athletic body with a long torso. They also have long toes and a long, thin tail with a rounded tip. They have a heart-shaped head with thick circular mascara-like markings around their eyes. They're about medium size, 7 to 15 pounds. Fun fact, their legs keep them low, causing their walk to resemble a tiger, which is pretty cool. They also have small round ears that are wide apart, sorry guys. And a little fact, maybe it's a fun fact, maybe it's not. They're born with blue eyes that start to change around 4 to 7 weeks. It's because of more melanin that's being produced at that time. When they reach 10 weeks, their adult eye color is going to come in, and it's either going to be gold, green, or, my favorite, amber.
Toyger temperament. Much like the big cats they're named after, Toygers are active and very intelligent. The difference is they're also very affectionate, whereas tigers are very solitary creatures. Toygers crave variety, stimulation, and most importantly, companionship. Very much needy babies. They're prone to separation anxiety if they're left alone too long. They get along well with other cats, cat-friendly dogs, and with children. Of course, they enjoy interactive play with humans, as they need daily engagement to keep their little brains stimulated and keep them from, turning your couch into a scratching post. They're very easy to train, and they can learn to play fetch, play games with their humans, or walk on a leash. Much like most cats, they do appreciate their quiet time after a good play session, but they will accept cuddles during that period, of course. They're described as Bengal-like in personality, but they're a lot more laid back and a lot more friendly than the wildcat mixes.
All right, it's me again. Health profile and genetic dispositions of the Toyger. While being generally healthy, they are at risk for hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is a thickening of the heart muscle, and that can lead to heart failure or blood clots. Heart murmurs are a huge indicator. They also have potential for eye and kidney disease because of their genetic ties to the Bengal, and also pyruvate kinase deficiency, which is the lacking of the pyruvate kinase enzyme in the red blood cells. And that enzyme is actually a glycolytic enzyme, and it causes the last step of glycolysis, which is the breakdown of glucose. And this is all due to a mutation in the PKLR gene, which is pyruvate kinase deficiency. I don't know where the L and the R came from. Don't judge me. I'm just doing research. This will lead to hemolytic anemia. Symptoms include fatigue, pale skin, don't know how you'll see the skin, but okay, jaundice, enlarged spleen, and some don't show symptoms at all, which is pretty scary. Treatment varies from supportive care with folic acid and blood transfusions to a splenectomy to remove the spleen. Just depends on the severity of each case.
Toyger upkeep and husbandry. Recorded by Milo Myers and researched by Cureless. So Toygers are a domestic shorthair. They really need to be brushed or combed about once a week. They're seasonal shedders, which means that during a certain time per year, you'd need to increase the brushing frequency to about once a day as opposed to once a week. They just need regular nail maintenance, ear cleaning, and teeth cleaning. However, having some scratching posts around may decrease the frequency in which they need their nails cut. Make sure to keep them hydrated. They can get dehydrated easily. They need to have their water placed about 3 feet away from any food, and because of their sensitive noses, if they have those overwhelming food smells in there, they may drink less. For nicknames, they really only have two, that being the toy tiger and the miniature tiger.
Starting off, the Toyger breed unlike some of the other breeds you've probably seen. They're relatively new. They were founded in the mid 1980s, around 1986, I believe. They were founded by Judy Sugden. Fun fact, her mother, Jean Mills, who was actually the founder of the Bengals, she wanted to improve the clarity of the markings in mackerel tabbies, who were descended from Bengals, so keeping it in the family, I guess, and other breeds like domestic shorthairs. The cats used to make this lovely breed, this little kitty Toyger breed, she used Millwood sharpshooter, because they had two tabby markings and they could almost form a perfect circle, so she said that this could be the true circle pattern on a tiger's head, because these tabbies don't usually have these types of markings, so it could be the key to getting that finally achieved. And then the other cat, Jimmy Blue, he had spots in between his ears, and they were breeded together and officially started the breeding process of the Toygers. So throughout their journey, others were pioneered to work. But in 1933, they accepted the breed for registration, and by Judy Sugden's pioneer work, she officially helped make this breed fully registered as a championship cat, even though the CFA only recently registered them in 2016. But I hope you enjoyed learning about the history of the Toyger. Fun fact, they cost about I believe around $2,000 to $5,000. And so it's pretty expensive kitty if you want to own one. She also bred these kitties to give more exposure to tiger conservation, because she loved her tigers that much. If you look at pictures of her, she's always dressed up in prints and everything like that. But rest in peace. Thank you for giving us our Toyger breed.